Hello, am I audible? Hi everyone. Hello there. Thank you so much. So let's start with the event. It's been truly said by James E. Faust. A grateful heart is a beginning of greatness. It's an expression of humility. It's a foundation for the development of such virtues as prayer, faith, courage, contentment, happiness, love, and well being. With these lines, I extend the most warmest and heartiest welcome to everyone present here. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, the galaxies of intellectuals, invited guests, and my dear friends. How different is this evening? Indeed, very wonderful. The vibes around tell a beautiful tale, which is truly unforgettable. Dear audience, you will yourself discover as the colors of this event embellish us all together. Well, I, Yugal Pokhriyal, shall be your host for the evening. It's my great pleasure and the first and foremost duty on behalf of the entire Devbhoomi family to extend warm welcome to this beautiful, enlightening webinar, which is organized in collaboration with MannRaahi. I assure you that this webinar shall be full of exuberance, mindfulness, and will create some beautiful memories for us all. As it is rightly said, that days are not lost when memories are created. We feel honored to have with us our guest speakers, Dr. Aakansha Bhatia, founder MannRaahi, and Ms. Yashika Hooda, program manager MannRaahi. I request August Gathering to welcome our guest speakers with grand applause. So, we move forward. I'm glad to announce that we are joined by respective founders of Devbhoomi Family, Ms. Aditi Pandri, Ms. Ruchi Rawat, and Mr. Aman Dobhal. We are delighted with your presence. Please welcome them with a round of applause. Now I request our South Campus Vibhag President, Ms. Aakansha Bhatt, to welcome honorable dignitaries.
Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, working together is a success. A very warm welcome to all present here. I, Aakansha Bhatt, on behalf of entire Devbhoomi family, welcome you all and I thank you all on the for your presence and participation in this webinar for mental health and well-being. I extend a very warm and heartful welcome to the special guest, Dr. Aakansha Bhatia, founder MannRaahi, and Ms. Yashika Hooda, project manager. We are honored to have you. In addition, we welcome back the founding members of Devbhoomi family, Ms. Aditi Pantri, Ms. Ruchi Rawat, and Mr. Aman Dhobal. We are very grateful for your precious time and attention. We have journeyed for some time and from founding moment with lots of experiences, lessons, and fun. And we hope to continue to do so with great zeal and enthusiasm. Without further delay, let's continue with the event. We hope that you enjoy them with the same energy of our performers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Akansha. Not taking you much time, I would like to give you a glimpse of plethora about our guest speakers. Firstly, as our first speaker of the evening, Dr. Aakansha Bhatia, she is a counseling and educational psychologist with over 8 years of experience across educational institutions, social sector, and CSR. She's also founded together We Can TWC in 2015, an organization that worked in the spaces of mental health and education in India. TWC created high quality, low cost replicable interventions to address gaps in the education system with a focus on mental health. The initiatives of TWCs were inclusive and designed to mainstream psychosocial and emotional learning in the educational spaces. Also, she has also worked as a consultant for large-scale social impact programs. In the past, some of the programs for which she consulted were for organizations like I Dream Career, Seeds India, Khushi Parliamentarians with Innovators for India, supported by agencies like UNDP, UNICEF, Honeywell Safe School Programs, GIZ, etc. We are honored to have you with us. As our second guest speaker of the evening, we have Miss Yashika Hooda, Program Manager at MannRaahi. She has done her Bachelor's of Science in Psychology, Sociology, Rehabilitation Science from Bangalore University and Masters of Science in Clinical Psychology from Christ Dean University, Bangalore, qualifying each degree with a distinction. She has also qualified UGC NET for Assistant Professor in Psychology. She has completed her Bachelor's in Education from MIT World Peace University, Pune, with distinction. She has also done her Bachelor's in Library and Information Sciences from INDU. She is a certified career counselor by iDream Career. She is certified Reiki Level 2 practitioner and a healer. She also knows basic Indian sign language. Thank you for joining us, and we are looking forward for a happening webinar. Now, without no further ado, we would like to start the evening by taking grace from Goddess Saraswati, which stands at an epitome of wisdom and enlightenment. We present you a Goddess Saraswati Vandana. Thank you so much.
या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदां जाड्यान्धकारापहा। हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्।
Thank you so much indeed. We are blessed with Goddess Saraswati. And now let's give a huge round of applause for our first guest speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you Dr. Aakansha Bhatia. Please welcome her with a grand applause.
Thank you so much, Yugal. And I must say a few things before we begin. The first thing that I just was thinking, while you were talking was that you're a very good presenter and you have presented it very confidently in front of all of us. So kudos for that. Secondly, we have been doing so many webinars since like last 2.5 years since the pandemic has hit, and MannRaahi was not there. Of course, I was doing it in different capacities for different institutes, but Saraswati Vandana I have been hearing for the first time before starting a webinar. So it's really very nice, and I would say you have really attuned our minds to kind of think about ourselves and to gain the knowledge whatever we can from this session. So thanks for that. And lastly, since the name suggests Devbhoomi, what I understand is mainly Uttarakhand. Of course, some cultures we also call Himachal Pradesh is also sometimes known as Devbhoomi. So I'm not too sure if the kids are also from Himachal or not, but with Uttarakhand, I definitely share a very special connection. When the pandemic hit, that was the first place we went to, and we stayed there for a very, very long time. And and I experienced the mountain life in a very different way for the first time, and it gave me a sense of calm and composure, and to be honest, I did some very wonderful work there. And I think the vibe was such. I would rather not say that I did it. I would say the vibe of the place was such. We even worked with an NGO. I was doing this project with UNICEF at that point, and it was pandemic was already there, and whatever happened, like whatever transpired, I would say. And since then, I have been to Uttarakhand at least 10 more times. So after every 2 3 months, we are going there for and spending a week and coming back. It's like for me, it's like a rejuvenation of all the work, because MHPs, our work can be really exhausting, mentally exhausting at times. I will not take much time about personal stories here. I know that's not the right time for that. I'm here to basically introduce MannRaahi to all of you. Once I have introduced, Yashika is going to take over the session, and she's going to talk about the need for mental health, why we all need it, what are the signs and symptoms that you should look for, and how you can manage your own mental health, and when you should know that you require professional help, because that's one of the questions that we get a lot. So Yashika will be taking care of that, and after that, Artisha and her team will take over on some experiential activities with you. So you should have your material ready with you, Artisha. Do they need to have anything, paper, pen, etc.? After that, I mean, say anything more that you need them so that they can arrange meanwhile.
No, ma'am. It's a very interesting game. No pen paper required.
Oh, wow. That's amazing then. All right, great. So, I would like to introduce MannRaahi, although Yugal has introduced some portion about my professional journey. However, what was not said was that previously I was working as an assistant professor and founding faculty member at Lakshmi Bai College. I started the Department of Psychology over there. I was there for around 1.5 years. And somewhere while I was doing that work, and parallelly, I was also leading these social impact projects one after the other. I kind of was not very sure where I want to, like what is the thing for me, whether I should be in academia, whether I should come to the development sector completely. And one fine morning I decided, no, I think I need to create a larger impact, a bigger impact. Not that I want to say that educators don't do it, but the impact remains a little, I would say, limited. So I want to go out and work towards the mental health. Now this experience, I would say, also comes from my own training in education and psychology, my PhD, all everything from Delhi University. And what I realized over there was that there are many students, many adolescents, and I'm sure you can think, and you can, even if you close your eyes, you can think about a few people, their faces will come to your mind, who were struggling from mental health issues, but they were never given any help. Help is not given. When I say help was not given, there could be various reasons. Awareness is not there. It is a stigmatized concept. Parents, teachers, they remain in denial mode that maybe it's nothing, maybe you are just making it up, or it's just a facade that you are just kind of because it's a trend, it's a fad nowadays. So a lot of things we have been hearing. However, I would say that my own experience of being an educator and working with a similar age group as you all are right now, I definitely realize that there is a huge need for something concrete, for something that comes up of an organization that is able to provide a safe space to all the students, who are either in their teens or are young adults like all of you, and beginning to start their careers. So, MannRaahi was conceptualized in the month of March and April. We got official in the month of June, and July 1st, we were fully operational. We started our work. In between, we also won Wilgrow's Solvers Innovator Challenge in the individual category. We got the first prize, and MannRaahi's mission is right there for all of you to see. We work on a very holistic model. We believe that no matter how much I go and talk to you, it may not bring a systemic change until and unless I don't look at all the stakeholders who are around you. So you are the one person whom I consider the change, the agent of change. But we have to look at the school or the college who, with which you are affiliated. We have to look at what is happening with the educators. We also have to look what is the mindset of the families, the parents, and all that. So this is the reason MannRaahi came up with an approach to co-create mental health spaces, so that An inclusive and safe space can be created within our classrooms, campuses, communities, as well as our families. So that's the whole idea of Manrahi. If you go on our website, you will be able to see the different aspects of the work that we do. I would also request you. We put a lot of good content. I would like to believe on Instagram as well. We are very active on LinkedIn and Instagram as well, and we put some very useful content for all the students of all the different streams to do with your mental health. Another thing is we actually started with the aim to remain affordable, since we want to take it for the students, and we do understand that most of the students, they do not have the financial capacity at the moment to pay. Of course, all of you will get financially independent very soon, but given this time, so we do believe in accessibility and affordability of our services. So that's another thing. Lastly, I would just want to say there is one small thing that we do these days, which is called a happiness session. We all know that on our friend's birthday, we become very generous and we want to gift so many things to our friends, but some friends just need a happiness session, a session where they get reassurance. So we also have that option on our website where you can gift a happiness session to somebody. Again, it is affordable and it gives a clarity of mind to your friend in 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So there are many things that you can explore. We also have a segment on inspire your peer, where whoever feels that you have some talent, or let's say you have gone through something, there are different options like blogs. You can submit your stories, you can even submit your artwork, poetry to us, and we would be very happy to put it up, because we keep on posting that again on our Instagram page to keep inspiring other people who might be going through the same thing. So please feel free to reach out to us if you want to do any of this work. Yashika meanwhile is putting all the links on the chat. I would request if you can please save these links with you. You can follow us on Instagram and see the kind of work we are doing. We do require many people to join what we are doing. So if you resonate with the kind of work that we are doing after the session, if you really feel that you can also be one of the persons and you can contribute in any small capacity, please feel free to do that and reach out to us. Thank you very much. I'll still leave my email ID here just in case anyone wants to personally connect with me. I would be happy to hear from you. Okay, and I'm going to now put it over to Yashika, and Yashika will be continuing from you. Thank you very much, everyone, and I really hope you enjoy this session. Yashika, over to you, dear.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So yes, I've put up all the links for you all to visit and check them out. And now we'll move to discussing what is mental health exactly. And before we begin, I just want you all to rate your feelings from 1 to 5. So that before we begin the discussion part, can you just all quickly rate on a scale of 0 to 5, 1 to 5, how you're feeling? 1 being very upset or very sad or very low, and 5 being very excited. Just rate your feelings so that I can get a general understanding of how everyone, on what scale everyone is right now. You can just put the number in the chat box. We have got 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Oh, that's wonderful. 2.5, 1 and 2 also. Great. So good to see you all put honest numbers there. I can see 1 and 2 and 2s also. That's wonderful. And thank you so much for this. We are getting. All right, thank you so much. So let's come to our discussion on mental health. I'll put up a link in the chat box. And before we discuss before I explain what mental health is, I want you all to put one word that comes to your mind when we say mental health. You have to just go to this link and post your word or comment. Okay, you can put in the chat box also. Meanwhile, you can also put in the word cloud, that link I have shared. Peace, satisfaction, peace of mind. Okay, the less you express, the more you feel. Okay, self-actualization. We have psychology students also here, I guess. Psychic, yes. Okay, anything else? Depression, an important topic in mental health, yes. I've got calmness and trouble also in the Slido link. Great. Frustration, anger issues, social anxiety, being comfortable, breakdown, frustration, OCD. Okay. Emotions, yes, very important. Acceptance. Okay, great. So we'll move to the next part now. Now that we have got so many terms related to mental health, we'll see. So, mental health includes all of these. Okay, it includes your emotions, it includes your thoughts, psychological aspects, and as well as your social well-being. So, social is something that we did not cover in the words that you shared, right? So when we talk about mental health, yes, all the disorders that you have mentioned, they do come in, but in general, without having a particular mental illness, also a person has mental health. So just like how everyone has physical health, everyone has mental health also. And when we talk about that mental health, that is your emotions, your feelings, your actions that you do, your behavior basically, and your thoughts also. So whatever goes in your mind, everything is connected to your mental health. Okay, now why are we talking about mental health? So we know, we anytime anyone gets hurt, it's very easy to pay attention to that. It's very easy for others to see that, and empathize with us that okay, this person is hurt, maybe they need help, maybe they need more compassion. But what about our emotional state? What about our mental health? What about what we are going through? What thoughts we are struggling with every day? So, just like how we emphasize a lot on physical health, I think it's very important to now start understanding that mental health is equally important, if not more. Okay, and once you pay attention to your mental health, once you start working on your mental health also, everyone goes to the gym or everyone practices yoga or exercises for improving their mental physical health. But what do we do for improving our mental health? Correct. So today we will learn that, and before learning what we have to do to take care of our mental health, we need to understand how will that help. So once you start working on your mental health, once you have a happy state of mind, you have better coping strategies to deal with your day-to-day stresses. So your ability to deal with stress increases. Okay, and then you also start thinking positively about yourself. You have a very positive self-concept when you pay attention to your mental health. This in turn also leads to a better productivity in all spheres of your life, and also healthier relationship with your peers, with your family members, with your romantic partners, everyone around you. Okay, all of this together combined with definitely a good physical health also leads to a healthier quality of life. So next time when you think of what quality of life I want to aim for, please also think about, along with your physical health, also focus on your mental health. Now how do we understand whether someone's mental health is not okay, or is it, or are they doing fine? So here I'll just give you a few of the signs that you can identify in other people, from where you can understand that they need some kind of help or they are struggling with some issue. First sign is that there's a change in their eating patterns. Okay, either they have started eating more excessively, or they have started skipping their breakfast, their meals, or they have just stopped eating. Okay, and it can be related to no appetite or no interest in eating. Second, their level of energy is has depleted. They do not find energy to maybe do the day to day activities also, or to interact or have conversation with people also. That's also a sign. People don't usually understand, they relate physical energy with only activities, but physical energy and mental energy both deplete when you are struggling with an issue, and your mental energy reflects in how you are interacting with other people. So you stop interacting with your loved one also, and your socialization part also decreases. Initially, if you were happily interacting with 10 people around you, now you may find it difficult to interact with two close friends also. So your social aspects also get impacted. The next sign is that there's a constant feeling of sadness, or if not sadness, but you do not feel the usual self that you used to feel. If you are usually a happy person, if you're usually and excited about going out and all, so there's a change in that feeling, and you usually feel on the lower side of emotions with lower energy, low mood. Okay, that becomes more persistent. Then someone might start using substances to cope with their day-to-day stress. It can be smoking, it can be drinking, or it can be other drugs also. But when you use those substances as a coping strategy to deal with stress in your life, that's a sign of poor mental health. Okay, the next one is having extreme emotions. Okay, you can either have extreme mood swings, or you can have multiple emotions which you're not able to understand. For example, I might not be able to identify, am I angry, am I confused, am I hurt? I'm just not able to label my emotion because there are so many emotions. So when you start feeling more overwhelmed more often, or when you start experiencing extreme mood swings, that's another sign of poor mental health. Okay, now self harm is also a very major sign of poor mental health. Okay, no one would want to hurt themselves, right? So if they are struggling constantly, they might resort to these extreme steps also. The next one comes about this is an extreme, this is related to specific mental illnesses, can be a sign of that, and it is about hearing noises, hearing sounds which no one else can hear. Okay, so when you start hearing things which no one else is hearing, or when you start seeing things which no one else can do, so any sensory perception which others are not experiencing around you, that can also be a sign of any mental illness. Then actively engaging or frequently engaging in physical fights with other people, that again is a sign that the person is internally struggling with an emotion. Okay, and the last part is that the person is not able to do or complete their day-to-day activities as they were used to doing like earlier. Okay, so these are very few signs that I have mentioned. There are more signs also. Okay, and we'll see in the later part how you can be, how you have to be more observant if you want to identify poor mental health at an early stage. Okay, now that if you have identified any of these, if you have been, if you have related to the previous slide, what can you do now to take care of yourself? So the first part is that you start understanding yourself, you start knowing yourself, that who are you, what are your values, what are your beliefs, how do you feel in usual. How will you identify that there's a change in your experiences, right, unless you know that in this type of situation this is how I normally feel. So if you don't know your normal level, you will not know the change also. Okay, and for that you need to start unraveling your mind. So the reason that we have also named as MannRaahi is that you journey within your mind. You are the traveler, you explore your mind, you explore your thoughts, and you connect to those thoughts, then you try to sort out those things. Once you start unraveling things, things will not look as complicated as they might look now. Okay, and all of this is, it's very important that when you're doing this process you keep loving yourself, because when we unravel our thoughts, when we start becoming more aware of self, we will come across a lot of flaws that we have. And at those moments it's important that we keep reminding ourselves that we have to love ourselves, we have to accept ourselves, and then we work on progression. Okay, then we work on things that we need to improve in ourselves. Okay, this journey of understanding and loving yourself is a critical part of the next step, which is healing your. Okay, so healing journey is not a straight graph, it's not an upward graph. It has lots of ups and downs, but you always keep coming to the reality level and keep reminding yourself that I will keep working on this. And if you're not able to do it on your own, please go and seek professional help. We were discussing how that we will identify when to seek help. So this is when you're not able to do things at your own, when it is getting too much for you, when you're feeling overwhelmed for a long time now, it's better that you seek professional help. Yes, we have friends, yes, we have loving family members, we have a lot of people around us, but they can never replace a professional. Okay, so seeking professional help is always advisable when things go out of your control. And all of this, when you go to therapy, I can assure you that you will be smiling all over again, doing your favorite things and enjoying them as you were doing earlier. Okay, now moving to the next part. This it's a game. Now I will hand it over to Archisha and I'll see you all at the end of the session. Archisha, over.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for telling us a lot about mental health and well-being. So, hello everyone. My name is Aakansha Danwal, and I'm a third-year student, sociology student from Hindu College, Delhi University. And please kindly introduce other team members. Mahi, introduce yourself, and then Sanjeevni.
Hello everyone, a very good evening to you, and I hope I am audible. I am a psychology and physical education student from Lakshmibai College, and I want to pursue psychology in the future. And I will be explaining other things to you later on. Now, over to Sanjeevni.
Hello everyone, myself Sanjeevni Danwal. Right now I'm pursuing BA Ed from the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee College.
So let's get start. So let's get start the game. So the game is very simple. I'm gonna give you some emojis, and you are gonna guess some movie name. Okay, it's a simple, very simple game. Do type on the chat box if you guess the movie name. It's all psychology based movies, and Bollywood and Hollywood a mix. But this one a Bollywood movie. Anyone? Yeah, Khushbu Galoya. You are right. It's Dear Zindagi. Great. Mahi. Yeah, I. It's a very easy one. I think you're not gonna guess. Yeah, it's Burfi. Yes. Correct, guys. Oh my God, so much Ranveer Kapoor fans. It's correct. It's very easy. I think everyone's gonna guess. Yeah, Black Swan. Yugal, great. Aisha, Yashika, great. Diksha, great. तारे जमीन पर पारिशा बढ़िया मनीष बढ़िया बढ़िया मानसी अनुष्का नेगी बढ़िया ऋतिका बढ़िया गाइस हो गया तारे जमीन पर नेक्स्ट मूवी दिख गई है यार शटर आइलैंड ग्रेट शिवांश पारिशा बढ़िया बस चेंज हो गई है स्लाइड बढ़िया दीक्षा थ्री इडियट्स ग्रेट या थ्री इडियट्स it's I think somehow very not difficult. Just plus the words. Beautiful, but the last thing is brain. It's a Hollywood film. Very famous Hollywood film. Yeah, Parasha, you guessed it right. But dil nahi hai. Yeah. Beautiful mind. Great, Gaurav. Great, Parisha. Beautiful mind. No problem. This one is very tricky one. It's a Bollywood movie. I think nobody gonna guess it. Let's see. Yeah, it's Bhool Bhulaiya. Khushbu, you are great, yaar. Great, Khushbu. No, Shivansh, it's not great grandmasti. It's it's psychology movie देने वाले हम. Adult नहीं. ये भी थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है, थोड़ा सा. नहीं, नो. गेस द फर्स्ट इमोजी. सबको यही लगता है शुभ मंगल ज्यादा सावधान, बट ये नहीं है. फर्स्ट इमोजी को कहते क्या है? सो एक हिंट दे देती हूँ. चैट पे लिखती हूँ हिंट फर्स्ट इमोजी का. अब तो गेस कर लो. या छिछोरे. छिछोरे. नो, नॉट जोकर. जो फर्स्ट इमोजी को लिटरल में कहते क्या है, मतलब बिल्कुल लिटरल सेंस बोल रही हूँ मैं.
गाइस वन हिंट, ये रणबीर कपूर की मूवी है, सो
वो बहुत बड़ा हिंट है.
या
या तमाशा. ग्रेट. It's a Hollywood movie, and it's I think very easy to guess. Lighthouse, great. It's correct, correct. किया अक्षित. की हाउस नहीं, लाइट हाउस. बढ़िया बढ़िया. ये थोड़ा ट्रिकी है. ये भी हॉलीवुड मूवी ही है. दीक्षा ठीक है. अब दूसरी स्लाइड चल गई. अ, माही, एक साइड स्लाइड आगे कर, मतलब पीछे कर. हाँ, द गर्ल इन द रूम नहीं, द गर्ल इन द रूम नहीं है ये. लास्ट थिंग.
a very famous thriller novel.
द गर्ल इन रूम नंबर वाली जो है, आई गेस.
No,
नहीं,
no,
आगे का सही बोला तुमने, द गर्ल इन द, बट उसके पीछे का एक बार इमोजी देखो. रूम नहीं है इमोजी, मतलब बिल्कुल वही है, वही शब्द ही है जो इमोजी है.
विंडो.
what? You're not. No, it's not.
The girl in the window, so I think nobody gonna guess. Yeah, हाँ खुशबू ने लिख दिया. बढ़िया
No,
खुशबू.
no, it's not that. I mean, you're close, but like girl का synonym.
नहीं एक the girl in the window भी है. The woman in the window. ये भी एक हॉलीवुड फिल्म है. नहीं एक
It's
विलन.
a cult classic.
हाँ कल्ट
It's
क्लासिक है.
very famous.
इमोजी से कुछ भी रिलेटेड नहीं, बस इमोजी की तीनों चीजें वो मूवी में थी.
No, 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 not that.
यही लास्ट है इसलिए हमने थोड़ा ट्रिकी डाला है. साइकोलॉजी से ही है. हाँ 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 गौरव बिल्कुल सही जा रहे हो. मतलब आई थिंक सही है. माही क्या करना है एक बार तुम बता दो, मतलब मेरे को तो पता ही है. आई थिंक जो गौरव ने लिखा है वो सही है. अमेरिकन साइको नहीं है, इट्स साइक. साइक मूवी है. साइको मूवी आई थिंक. हाँ वेल प्लेड गाइस यार. काफी अच्छा खेला. इंटरैक्टिव बन गया. तुम सबने इंटरैक्टिव बना दिया सेशन. आई नेवर थॉट कि इतना भी इंटरैक्टिव बनेगा. थैंक यू परेशा. नहीं यार तुम सबने बढ़िया खेला यार. काफी कमाल. थैंक यू अक्षित. संजी तेरी है. इट वाज अमेजिंग. थैंक यू खुशबू. यू आर ऑल्सो अमेजिंग. सारी पता थी तुम्हें. थैंक यू युगल.
Sanjeevni, over to you.
Okay, so now I will tell you a little more about MannRaahi's four programs. So the first one is teen empowerment. MannRaahi believes that today our adolescents are infused with power and energy to bring a new level of thinking, innovation, and imagination and creativity to solve the most challenging problems that the world is grappling with. Second, classroom programs as an assortment of programs designed to help the educators to promote mental health literacy in their classrooms by initiating conversations, interactive activities, and using diverse voices of teens to create awareness and fight stigma. Third one is school policy and staff engagement. Prepare your school to forge an inclusive and safe mental health culture through constructive policies, rigorous capacity building, strong educator support structures, continuous staff engagement, and a strong focus on self care and mental well being. Fourth, family partnership. Families play a critical role in adolescents' well being. Family relationships flourish when adolescents are involved in decision making. Their viewpoints are acknowledged, their demands are negotiated with, and lastly, they are treated with respect and dignity. Now, over to Mahi.
So thank you so much. Now we have another thing here. Miss Ajisha and her team will be showcasing some of a demonstration what is psychological safety. Now you guys may carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Yugal. So I'm going to tell you about psychological safety. That is very important, and the main motive of our session is psychological safety. So psychological safety is that feeling, is the feeling and the belief that you can share your thoughts, opinions, and ideas fairly without the fear of being judged, degraded, or shamed. So safety, according to Maslow hierarchy, is a basic human need. And to support high performing teams, creating psychologically safe work environments, it's very critical and very crucial. So this is beyond only basic need decency, but employee retention. So what does that mean? So the term psychological safety was coined by Harvard Business School professor Amy Edmondson. So she defines it as a sheer belief that the team is safe for interpersonal risk taking. Establishing a climate of psychological safety allows space for people to speak up and share their ideas. Apart from this, psychological safety is also when people on a team possesses psychological safety, they feel they are able to ask for help, admit mistakes, raise concerns, suggest ideas, and challenge ways of working and the ideas of others on the team, including the ideas of those in authority. Through this honesty and openness, risks are reduced and new ideas are generated, and the team is able to execute on those ideas, and everyone feels included. Building psychological safety not only improves organizational outcomes, but it's a right thing to do. So there are on the screen you can see that there are more ways to practice psychological safety. On the left side, these are the things that you can do on your personal level, and on the right side, these are the things that you can suggest to other or to your friends and family members. Okay. So the first thing is that growth mindset. You need to have a very strong and very positive mindset about a lot of things. When you work in a group or when you work in a team, you need to have a mindset that is very open, and you need a mindset that is very positive. Okay. Apart from it, I'm talking about resilience and grit. So resilience is being courage and being an ability to talk about something, to talk like to put your point of view in front of your group, in front of your family, with courage and bravery. Guilt reduction is a very important thing, because a lot of teenagers, we thought that saying no or denying over something that we are uncomfortable, we thought always that there's a guilt, like I can say no to that person because that person is somehow uh, up in hierarchy or is in a great position that I'm not. So you need to say no when you're required, when your comfortable zone is being threatened. So you need to learn how to say no. No means no. And apart from that, be yourself is the most common thing that everyone knows, that being yourself is the most, I think it's the best therapy, because if you're being yourself, then your psychological need and your psychological, like your mental health is very much great if you are if you are yourself. So, and apart from this, learn to prioritize your time, your energy, your family bonds or member bonds or friendship bonds. Learn to prioritize. Like as a teenager, I always thought like doing some work earlier or urgent is required, because I think that that work is my priority. I have to do this first because this is my priority. But you also have to look after your family, your friends, that are your real priorities, because they are the real thing. And after that, you need to have a acceptance. Nowadays we don't have any acceptance, like we don't accept things quickly. We are so much like into ourselves, we don't accept things as they are. Like our parents acceptance rate is very much more, but still we also require to accept others and others mistake also. And the last point is that is being empathetic, sorry, is being having empathy, not sympathy. Sympathy is like a feeling of pittiness over someone. Like have empathy for others, and sometimes be in the shoes of others, let you know their point of view. Yeah, so that's all from my side, Mahi. So building a psychological safety is, so you can see a scan code here and a link here. Mahi, could you just, yeah, Sanjeevni have put up the link. You just need to open up the link, and I have been showing the screen. Let me just show and just put up your plan. How can you for yourself and for others can promote psychological safety? We want to hear your points.
Excuse me, Miss Archisha.
Yes.
So now you're calling people for the open conversation, I guess
Yeah.
so.
No,
So,
no.
guys,
Yeah,
okay,
you have to open the link and
oh,
over that you have to write. And it's anonymous. किसी का भी नाम नहीं दिखने वाला कि कौन क्या लिख रहा है. Okay?
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. I'm opening. So you could see my screen. It's just like a notice board and your points are gonna be stick here.
Archisha, it would be great if the link is circulated in the webinar WhatsApp group.
Okay, okay. I'll just share it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Mahi or some do you guys understand like you have to just write over your point of view like आप कैसे safe feel करते हैं psychological safe feel करते हैं कोई आपका idea या फिर कोई आपका ऐसा तरीका that you feel very comfortable with you can just write over here by opening the link.
For example, just an example, I to practice psychological safety for others, I would ensure that I am listening to them patiently. Just an example. What else can you do to make others feel psychologically safe, or what makes you feel psychologically safe?
I have also sent the link on the group.
Miss Archisha, there are responses on the tab. It is visible. Could you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, is my screen visible to all of
Yeah,
you?
your
Like,
screen is visible, but there is no responses there. But I can see responses. Could you
okay.
just please refresh it?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yugal could if it is showing
Could
on
you
your
please
screen,
scroll down? It is at the bottom. Could you please scroll down?
let me just
It is at the bottom. Yeah. Thank you
now.
so much.
Okay, somebody has written hug them tightly. Okay, I can. Okay, I can read it loud. I feel we can make other feel safe is to provide them with a space which is non-judgmental, a space where they can share and express themselves, a place where they can be themselves. To make myself feel safe, I like to journal my thoughts and letting them be expressed out of my body. I feel safe when I'm being comforted after crying and like a warm hug. Oh my God, that's great. Okay. By preferring them books which make them feel worthy, or we can say by I don't know what's written over there, say by self, not to give them sympathy, they they get to know by themselves, accepting people with kindness. Great. Okay, we'll offer a cup of Just a second. I think being around by being around my friends who care about nothing but a good time being spent when we are hanging around. There are no judgments made. I think everyone wants to be live without judgment. That's great. You'll offer a cup of coffee, of course. That heals everything. So I think we can move forward, and anybody who wants to write over that, the palette is open for you every time.
Ms. Archisha, shall we proceed, or is there anything it is
Yeah.
going to be done?
So from Mahi from my team is gonna forward now.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Mahi.
So, yeah, I'm here. Okay, everyone. So, today I'm going to talk about healthy boundaries. So, healthy boundaries is basically practicing self care, it's protecting our personal and mental space, it's establishing your limits and boundaries clearly and expressing them assertively. It's about knowing where you and others begin, knowing what you are and not, having a strong self of identity, and acknowledging that every adult is responsible for themselves. It's necessary to have personal boundaries in your life in order to keep yourself well, healthy, and to promote better mental health. Now, personal boundaries may vary according to your personality, culture, and social extent. And one of the most essential thing that helps you in creating your boundaries is self-awareness. There are times when we feel uncomfortable, drained, and very low. So we need to investigate those situations. We can investigate the situation by unraveling your mind, by noticing our own habits, by seeing that, oh, why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel this way only when I am with that person? So when you notice these habits and when you notice why your emotions are that way or why are you acting that way, you learn that you need to create boundaries. Now we'll talk about types of boundaries. We have is personal boundaries. Personal boundaries mean protecting your personal space. You have autonomy of your body. And for example, if someone is not physically affectionate, you can just say no to them. That I'm uncomfortable when you hug me or when you touch me. It's okay. You also have a right to uh, to let know that to let know that person that you can come to your house or not. Then we have emotional boundary that includes your feeling and personal details. It means that no one has the right to invalidate your feelings or criticize them. You don't have to take the burden of other emotions and their feelings. It involves separating your own emotions from others. Also, you should not sacrifice your own emotions and your own preferences for others. It also involves that you should not blame your own actions, feelings, and emotions onto others. Then we have verbal boundaries. It protects how we speak and what we discuss. For example, if you're in a conversation, it depends upon you. If you want to have an intimate conversation, no one can force you on that. And if you're feeling very uncomfortable in a situation, you can just back out and say that no, feeling very uncomfortable, and no, I don't think this joke is funny. Then we have time boundaries, which basically means managing your time, setting priorities and preferences. Basically, what happens when we don't manage our time, we harm ourselves due to unreasonable demands in short times. Due to that, we drain ourselves, we drain our resources, and exhaust ourselves. Then we have work boundaries. It means having a work life balance, not pushing yourself to the limit, so it would lead to burnout. It means having breaks in between without feeling guilty and enjoying your holidays. Then we have spiritual boundaries, which means protecting your own beliefs, values, and your religion. You have a right to practice what you want, and no one has the right to dictate or have the authority to tell you what you should practice or not, and how you should worship or not. Then we have financial boundaries. It means independency and protection of your material belongings, assets, and finances. It means that you should not feel pressured when you give money to someone or you loan out the money, or if you don't want to, you should not pay someone others debt. It also means you have a right to your salary and no one can deny that. Then we have sexual boundaries, which involve three essentials, which is consent, safety, and preferences. By safety, we mean no one has the right to make you feel uncomfortable by making advances towards you, and you have a right to say no. I know sometimes we feel very pressured, or we doubt ourselves that if I say no, it would be very off putting, and it would be rude. But trust me, later you'll thank yourself. Then we have communication. You can communicate with your partner about your preferences, what you want, what's acceptable to you, and what's appropriate towards you. So these were the boundaries that ensures your mental health and ensures a better quality of life. Now we have a exercise where you can mute yourself, and basically in this exercise you have to say I statement. For example, I feel uncomfortable when you hug me, so what I need is you to give me some space, or i can just uh, I can just do a handshake, or like that. So you can unmute yourself and share your examples. Anyone? Yes, Ankita.
I don't like when I cry and someone asks me why I am crying, because there are times when there is no reason. I just feel low and I can't explain, and it's it's kind of embarrassing to not know why are you crying.
Trust me, it's very relatable.
It's very real. Like,
Anyone else? Yes, Parisha.
I feel sad because I miss you. When I look into the sky, what I need is all you. It's quite creepy, I know.
No, no, it's not. Don't worry. Great. Anyone else?
Guys, come on, Yashika.
Yes, Khushbu.
Yeah, I feel amazing or very happy whenever I see a full moon or sunrise or sunset.
That's great.
That's great, yeah.
Guys, I just
Okay, so just I'm sorry to interrupt. So boundaries are also a way of setting limits. So telling people what you will tolerate and what you will not. So for example, we had someone very courageously share that they do not like when people ask them why are they crying, right? So now you need to express your needs also clearly, and it's also I statements are a very good strategy to describe or say no also. So, for example, just to rephrase that same example, I feel uncomfortable when you ask me why am I crying, because I also don't know the reason. So, whenever I cry next time, what I need you is just to sit there and hold my hand, or just to be there with me. So, you are expressing what you are feeling in a situation and what you expect from the other person also very clearly.
anyone else? Then should we move on?
Yes, Lakshmi, you can say that by opening your camera or mic also. Yes, Yugal.
To say it is just the way I was feeling. I just feel myself happy when I'm alone. It gives me a lot of time to to realize what I did and to recreate what I need to do in my future. Especially, I've been a student of psychology. I know some methods where we see ourselves, we actually see our activities and we evaluate those activities. So I feel the same way when what Lakshmi said. It's a very useful and it is very beneficial time for anyone to concentrate and to meditate what they had did earlier and where they need to set their boundaries and what they need and what they don't need. The courage to say no and the courage to say yes wherever it is required. I believe that.
Yes, exactly. And I also do the same thing. Okay, then let's move on. So, 1 minute. So, before moving on, do you
So
guys have any doubts or something?
let me just open the plan of action.
Miss Archisha, can you please, or Miss Mahi, can you please elaborate how anyone can reach you guys in person if they want to ask some questions related to themselves or like their mindset or anything? Could you just clarify that where to reach you guys if they're not comfortable here talking about any sensitive issues they want to ask in person?
Yeah, I think we have an Insta ID, so you can DM us. Second, Akanksha ma'am left her email ID. You can email us anything. Also, we have a website. You can reach us there. So these are the ways.
Also, on the website, there is a free consultation option also. So if anyone, let's say, wants to book a session with us, or and before that they have any doubts regarding counseling, or if they just are not able to figure out whether they need counseling or not, so they can book the free consultation call, which will be a 10 to 15-minute call, and members can explain them what is happening with them and what can help them in their situation. Okay, and this was very thoughtful of you, Yugal, to mention this. And Akanksha ma'am has left her ID. I can also leave my email ID here, so anyone can email there and if they want to talk regarding anything. And they can also, as Archisha has mentioned, you can also DM on in MannRaahi's Instagram ID. Okay.
Thank you so much, Miss Yashika. So kind of you. So, guys, these are the mail address and they are the website they have provided. You can log into the website and you can ask and you can go for the free consultation. है ना? Miss Archusha, anything further? Miss Mahi,
Yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Please
Also,
continue.
so basically today what we learned was what is mental health, psychological safety, and setting our boundaries. So what we want from you is to create your own plan of set action. So basically what you have to do is type your action, type your plan that you will implement in your life and follow that. Sanjeevni has shared the link. You guys can go there.
And you can also see in my screen, it's visible, I think. Thank you, Yugal.
Don't mention.
You can also divide it into short-term and long-term goals. For example, what are your major takeaways from this session basically? So all the strategies that you learned, all the ways of self-care, psychological safety, and emotional boundaries that you learned. So what do you want to start practicing immediately, and also something that you are aiming for a longer period of time? That's truly I want to build on this thing also. And it's only for reflection, so this is for you all and how you want to take away all the information that was shared in this session.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it loud, all the things that people have written. Chase what is important, not what is mandatory. Great. Short term, start setting time boundaries. Long term, give more time for the things that make me happy. Amazing. Close your eyes and just feel. Okay, great. First thing is to love yourself, and only then you can love others. Accept your true self and listen to music to stay calm. Great, amazing. Short term, just okay. Try to sit with those who have some quality to make people laugh, which makes the day more better. Exactly. A short term, managing time wisely. Long term, courage to say no. I will prioritize my time and friends a bit more every day because I suck at prioritizing the ones close to me or the work I need to do. It ends up in guilty and so sorry. I feel the same. And yeah, it's true. And great image, by the way. Embrace the glorious mess you are. Exactly. Read and have coffee. That is also very great. Just sorry, just hug tightly. Okay.
Hi, Achisha. So, can we move to the end of the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone can keep typing in their reflections later on.
Okay.
All right. So, just to conclude everything that we have learned today, so I hope after understanding what mental health is, what are the signs of poor mental health, then also about learning about psychological safety, emotional and healthy boundaries. I hope now onwards we will start being more observant. Okay, so to ensure everyone's around us and our own mental health will be more observant towards ourselves also. What are we doing? How are we feeling? Okay, and how other people are behaving? Is there any change in how they used to, look, how they used to behave? So, apart from looking more carefully, more attentively, we'll also start listening to them more carefully. So, we'll start practicing active listening where we are paying attention to not only their words and we are listening not to reply but to understand what they are going through. Okay, and similarly, so or anything that you hear that okay, this is something unusual, if they are being overcritical about themselves or if they are being very negative about their future, So we will focus on such signs, and then we will link people, will help them to link to professional, either individual psychologists or to organizations like MannRaahi, so that we can ensure that everyone is, getting timely access to mental health services. That's all we wanted to for you all to take away from this session. If you have any questions, you can ask us now also, and you can anytime mail us to the email IDs shared with you earlier in the session. Anyone wants to ask any question right now?
Yeah, if anybody having something for asking for ma'am, you can ask for ma'am, or you can just drop your text in the chat.
Guys, please be very open. We are here to help. Miss Yashika is here, Miss Archisha is here. They are here for you guys. Kindly pour out your questions. And like if you want to say anything about the session and you want to ask anything, something further about the session, you kindly can drop it down on comment or like it will be very great if you question audibly.
Okay, I think no one wants to ask any questions right now. No problem. And now, since I'm a teacher, also I say in the class either everyone has understood everything or no one has listened to it carefully. All right. I hope you all take away a lot of helpful ideas and suggestions about your maintaining your mental well-being also today. And for future updates, we keep having these sessions, online discussions. We have Insta lives also. So I request again that if you want to stay updated more about Rahi, so you can follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm pasting Instagram's link in the chat box again. You can follow us there to stay updated. And if you want to, again, I would just like to conclude that if you want to approach us for anything, please feel free to do so. We are non-judgmental psychologists, so do not worry. Your information is also safe with us, and we are more than happy to help you in any way possible. Thank you so much, everyone, for being such a lovely and active audience today. And it was a pleasure to know your thoughts, your feelings in between the sessions, and how you actively participated and guessed the movies also. Yes, Mahi.
I think Shivangi has a question.
Yes, Shivangi.
Ma'am, when
Yes,
it comes
ma'am.
to communicate in a safe space,
It's
can you
Shivangi.
please give us some tips?
Yeah,
It's
Shivangi.
by Shivansh Negi.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right. I'm so sorry I missed that question. So communicate in a safe space. So Shivansh, usually when you are in a safe space, you can be yourself and communicate whatever and however you want to communicate. But when you want to ensure that this is a safe space, it's always better that first of all you do not share your very confidential information with every random person. Okay, ensure let them earn your trust first. Okay, and one of the very important tip that was shared in today's session was using I statements. Okay, we feel scared a lot of time that we don't know what the other person will think, what the other person, how the other person will perceive us after we communicate our needs or our opinions. So in such situations, please know that your opinion is only yours, and you have every right to have a different opinion from other people. Okay, and if it is required, please do not hesitate from it expressing it in clear words. Similarly, for your needs, it's very important that you understand what you need. Only then you will be able to communicate that. Okay, so using I statement, for example, let's say I am not okay with someone making jokes about my body. So I will clearly tell them, look, whenever you make such jokes, it makes me feel uncomfortable. So I want you to stop making these jokes. Otherwise, you also have to set a consequence that if they don't stop, then you'll have to stop sitting with them, you'll have to stop meeting them also. Please know that peer pressure is usually connoted as negative, but it can be positive also. So you start identifying peers who are good for your mental health, who encourage you whenever you feel you need that, who are happy in your success. Okay, and with regard to more communicating in an unhealthy and unsafe environment, please make sure that you are setting your boundaries clearly. You are stating your words in a very clear and direct manner. You don't have to repeat things. You don't have to justify your needs. You don't have to let anyone tell you that this is not, you cannot demand this, or you should not be feeling this way. Okay, it is your life, so you choose how you want to be treated, you choose how you want to feel and what you want to do, unless you are harming someone else. Okay, so as long as you're not harming others, please be whoever you are. And if you want some specific communication tips, then you can share an example where you struggle in communicating, so that I can give you a specific tip also.
Ma'am, for the part where you stated that you don't necessarily have to go with the peers.
Hmm.
So I want to ask if that there comes that there are many situations when we feel low or we feel bad, but the group or the friends around us, they tell us to stop doing things
Doing things
like
like.
the things that they feel or they think that are degrading ourselves or making us uh, a less valued person.
Okay,
So
but do those things make you happy, Shivansh?
yes, ma'am, that's my point. Sometimes it is not actual happiness; it is a pseudo happiness, and just if you're getting me, just a dopamine rush.
Hmm.
So in such case, is it okay to feel low, or is it okay to understand that if understand the fact that if a group or a group that care for me is
Hmm.
telling me something, so they might be right, and we have to sometimes ignore the fact that the XYZ thing which we are doing is making us happy. Because
See.
I personally I have felt this rarely, or I didn't even felt this, but I have seen many of friends or many of my classmates suffer the same problem. They
Okay.
think that they are okay, they are happy, and they are enjoying their lives. But if we focus on the bigger picture or
Hmm.
the broader side of the scenario, they are degrading themselves and they are harming themselves.
Hmm.
It is a kind of self toxicity,
Hmm.
and they are
Hmm.
enjoying it. So this is a
Correct. So
very
here it's
harmful thing.
also, thank you so much, Shivansh, for this question. If I have understood this, correct me if I've understood it correct, like in the right way. You are saying that when you see someone that they are being toxic to themselves, and when your friends tell them that stop doing things, then how do we convey it to them, or what do we do? What was your question?
Yes, ma'am.
So when let's say if your friends are, let's say for example, if they are using some substance to cope with their daily life and they're enjoying it, okay, and you think it's harming them, so I want you to remember that you cannot change them, you cannot change their priorities unless they ask for help. So unless someone asks for help, please do not go and try helping them. Then that becomes an unsolicited advice, and it harms them and you also more than it helps you. Okay, but if you, for example, if we turn the tables, if you are on the side, okay, when you're, for example, if you are using substance and your friends are coming and telling you that please do not do this, it's not the right way to deal with things, I think you can take one moment to reflect whether this thing, whether your actions are actually helping you to be what you really want to be. Are these strategies that you are using, are they solving your problems in real, or are they helping you escape them? Okay, you need to identify that first and then you need to communicate. If you are doing something and your friends think it is wrong but you think it's right thing, then you can tell them that I do not want to be I do not want your opinion on this thing. Okay, or otherwise in a polite, even more polite way, you can say that I understand your concern, but let's not talk about this habit. I will try to work on it, I will reflect on it, but thank you for your concern. So you're expressing that you value their opinion, but you will not be able to follow it right now and you will give it a thought later on. Does that help?
Ma'am, this covers the topic for the substantial needs you
Hmm.
mentioned, but there are some other things as well
जैसे
in
कि
our
एक
lives.
एग्जांपल स्ट्रेट कि ये हुआ था इंसिडेंट, तो हाउ डू आई डील विद इट?
I'm not disclosing the names, बट एक इंसिडेंट हुआ था कि एक मेरा दोस्त है, उसको एनआईटी ऑफर हो रही थी, कुरुक्षेत्र,
हम्म
एनआईटी कुरुक्षेत्र। और उसका एक मतलब जिस उस सोसाइटी में था, उसमें उसकी एक लड़की से बात हो रही थी।
हम्म
नॉर्मल बात हो रही थी, रोज मतलब बात होती थी उनका, लगभग 3-4 महीने बात हुई उनकी। एंड फिर उसने मतलब एनआईटी उसको ठुकरा दिया, उसका मेन एम क्योंकि अलग है, क्योंकि उसको बीटेक साइड नहीं जाना, टेक्निकल साइड नहीं जाना।
हम्म
तो हुआ क्या फिर, उसने ना मतलब एनआईटी छोड़ के इधर आ गया वो। और द फर्स्ट डे जो हमारा मतलब पहला दिन था कॉलेज का, उस दिन शायद उन्होंने एक दूसरे से मिले एक बार, और उसके बाद फिर उसने उसको घोस्ट कर दिया लड़की ने।
हम्म
हाँ, तो इस सिचुएशन को लेके मतलब मैं तो काफी इसमें वो रहता था, चुप रहता था, नहीं बोलता था। लेकिन एक हम ग्रुप में, जिस ग्रुप में रहते थे, तो उसमें एक दोस्त था, दूसरा दोस्त, तो वो उसको काफी उस तरीके से समझाता था कि मतलब तू इस बारे में वोकल हो और एक्सेप्ट कर, तेरी गलती है इसमें।
हम्म
तो मतलब ऐसा कुछ एनवायरनमेंट बन गया था।
ओके। एंड
हाँ।
दोस्त क्या करता था, आपका जो
क्या,
दोस्त था?
वो जो एनआईटी छोड़ के आया था, वो काफी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो जाता था, और फिर उसको मतलब हमें लगता था कि वो कहीं कुछ उल्टा सीधा ना कर ले अपने साथ,
हम्म
क्योंकि वो वो था मतलब डिनायल में जी रहा था कि मैंने कुछ गलत नहीं करा।
हम्म
हाँ, उसने वही मतलब सेम वही बात आई थी, उसने मतलब ये बात बोली थी, हमारी वैसे बहस हुई, वो उस लॉबी को या उस रूम को छोड़ के चला गया। और फिर 5 मिनट 10 मिनट बाद आता है वापस आधे रास्ते से चल के, और ये बोलता है कि मैंने जो भी किया या जैसा भी किया, मैं उसमें खुश था।
हम्म
ये बात बोली थी उसने एग्जैक्टली।
करेक्ट।
हम्म।
सो अभी तुम्हें क्या किस चीज के लिए सोल्यूशन चाहिए एग्जैक्टली और?
मतलब ऐसे सिचुएशन आती हैं, पता मतलब उसके साथ आई, हमारे साथ भी आ सकती है।
हम्म
तो मतलब ऐसे ऐसे सिचुएशंस में मतलब कैसे डील करना चाहिए।
हम्म करेक्ट। सो यहाँ दो
क्योंकि
चीजें हैं, एक
मुझे
तो
ना
किसी
मुझे
और
ना
ने, अगर किस फॉर एग्जांपल इफ समवन घोस्ट्स यू, तो इट डज नॉट से एनीथिंग अबाउट यू, तो उसमें तुम जरूरी नहीं तुम्हारी कोई गलती है। सामने वाले के अलग इमोशनल एक्सपीरियंसेस हो सकते हैं, सामने वाले के अलग चांसेस हो सकते हैं, अलग डिसीजंस हो सकते हैं, ठीक है? तो you have being a normal human being, you have to respect their decision and then stop pursuing that person, stop troubling that person first, okay? Second, अगर वो हमारे साथ हो रहा है या वो हमारे दोस्त के साथ हो रहा है, तो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू रिमाइंड देम कि यू आर नॉट एट फॉल्ट। कोई तुम्हें घूस कर रहा है तो तुम्हारी गलती नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत बार क्या होता है, गिल्ट आने लग जाता है कि काश शायद से मैंने यहाँ गलत कर दिया इसीलिए वो मुझे घूस करने लग गए, शायद से यहाँ मैं कुछ और कर देता तो ये सब नहीं होता, राइट? तो उस गिल्ट से उसको बचाना है कि यू डिड नॉट नो व्हाट टू डू एंड वॉट एवर यू डिड वॉज द बेस्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू यू। जितनी उसकी नॉलेज थी, जितना उसको पता था, उसने बेस्ट किया उसके अकॉर्डिंग, राइट? तो वो चीजें उसको याद दिलाओ ताकि वो गिल्ट में ना हो। तीसरी बात कि उसको आप मतलब एक लेवल पे ही हेल्प कर सकते हो, अगर उसकी वो जो सैडनेस है, वो फ्रस्ट्रेशन है, वो नहीं जा रही है, देन यू लिंक देम टू अ प्रोफेशनल। ठीक है कि प्लीज सीक काउंसलिंग, प्लीज सीक हेल्प टू डील विद दोज नेगेटिव इमोशन, क्योंकि बहुत सारे नेगेटिव इमोशंस आते हैं ना उसके बाद। तो वो इमोशंस के साथ डील करने, जैसे तुम कह रहे हो कि वो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड रहने लगा, तो वो डील करने के लिए दे नीड हेल्प। प्लस ऐसे टाइम पे पीपल नीड टू स्टार्ट फोकसिंग मोर ऑन देमसेल्व्स, start focusing more on their own self care and self love, rather than thinking कि कहाँ क्या गलत हुआ, क्यों, मतलब कि मुझ में ही कुछ कमी होगी। ये सारे थॉट्स आने से अच्छा है कि we start thinking कि okay, ये this was not the right thing that was meant for me, or this was not the right person, okay? And as a friend you can only encourage them, let them feel whatever they are feeling. एक तो बहुत बार बच्चे क्या करते हैं ना कि अरे रो क्यों रहा है, अरे दुखी क्यों हो रहा है। स्टॉप टेलिंग पीपल व्हाट दे शुड फील इन अ सिचुएशन। जस्ट वहां पे बैठो, क्यूरियोसिटी से पूछो कि व्हाट आर दे फीलिंग एंड हाउ डू दे वांट टू बी हेल्प। लोगों से पूछोगे ना कि हम क्या कैसे हेल्प करें, तो दे विल गिव यू क्लियर आंसर्स कि उनको क्या चाहिए उस टाइम पर, इंस्टेड ऑफ ऑफरिंग योर ओन एडवाइस विदाउट देम आस्किंग फॉर इट। थोड़ा सा बेटर, डिड इट हेल्प?
यस।
Okay, and I see a question that first of all, thank you Lakshmi for the feedback. Then Ayush has asked, "Ma'am, why do we feel negative emotions often at night, and how to cope with it?" Well, how to cope वाला part बहुत लंबा है आयुष, without understanding the whole situation मैं ऐसे एक general comment नहीं pass कर सकती, ठीक है? लेकिन why do we feel negative emotions? Most probably because that's the only time at night when we are free, ठीक है? जब हम सब काम कर चुके होते हैं, ठीक है, और हमारे पास अब कुछ सोचने के लिए नया नहीं है, किसी एक्टिवली किसी चीज पे फोकस करने के लिए कुछ नहीं होता है, तब हमारा माइंड होता है कि ठीक है नाउ एवरीथिंग इज डन, तो पूरे दिन से जो हम थॉट्स को इग्नोर कर रहे थे, अवॉइड कर रहे थे, वो थॉट्स आते रहते हैं। ठीक है, वो नेगेटिव इमोशन जो पूरे दिन से हम सप्रेस कर रहे थे, वो फिर जैसे ही आप फ्री हो गए, अगर आप दिन में भी फ्री होके बैठोगे, हो सकता है वो तब भी पॉप अप करने लग जाए। ठीक है, तो दिस इज हाउ whenever you feel relaxed, whenever you don't have anything else to focus, anything else to channelize your energy, those repressed, those suppressed emotions and thoughts, they come up. Okay, and how
Yes.
to cope with it? Feel your emotions, it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling, and then हर एक emotion कुछ ना कुछ message दे रहा होता है हमें, you start doing that. If you are feeling angry, so that means someone has crossed your boundaries. If you are feeling sad, someone if something that you wanted to did not happen, okay, so you do the opposite thing. Sadness का opposite happiness होता है ना, तो अगर तुम बहुत सैड फील करो तो start doing something that makes you happy. एक एक बार में इंसान दो इमोशंस तो फील नहीं कर सकता, तो देन you'll start feeling happy. ठीक है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन एंगर है, अगर किसी ने बाउंड्रीज क्लियर की हैं तो खुद से बैठ के सोचो कि कैसे मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम ये इंसिडेंट प्रिवेंट कर सकता हूँ. ओके,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
ऑलराइट.
Thank you, ma'am, for this session. And I think we are winding. पारसा, तुम्हारा मतलब तुम मेल पे लिख दोगे क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा हो रहा है, मैम को भी बाहर जाना है.
Okay, great. Okay.
It's okay, I can take one more question if something else. Yes,
Uh,
Parasha.
पारसा पूछ लो.
Hi, thank you for letting me ask this one. I would like to ask that if like you have mentioned that people like be with the peer which encourages you to be at the top or like to like they are happy at your success. But sometimes we feel people are happy at our success, but at the backstage they aren't, and they are showing in case that they are, but they are not. So like how could we deal with them? Like sometimes now we have people who showcase that they are happy being with us and they're happy in our success and they're happy with us with our company, but
Correct.
at the backstage in the backstory they are not and they are pretending to be the happy one. How could we deal with them?
First of all, if you are not aware, let them be in your at your back only. ठीक है, उनके बारे में सोचने की जरूरत है. They are doing things at your back, behind your back, right? So let them be there. But if you think so, you know, when you will clearly identify who is happy in your happiness, really happy, and someone who is pretending. So when you start noticing that, you know, the moment you have started succeeding or you are achieving your goals, uh, other you will see a change in their behavior out of jealousy or something else which is not very happy, which is not very positive. So then you start identifying those people, okay, that they are not happy, and it does not mean that they are bad people. Maybe they are not happy with something, they have their own insecurities at times. So you start maintaining your distance clearly. Okay, because you cannot go and control their actions, you cannot go and control their thoughts or feelings. You can only control your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So you have to focus only on those things. What someone else thinks about you, what someone else says about you, does to you, is not in your hands. So there's no point in investing your energy to that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the
All right.
answer.
Okay. And okay, everyone. Thank you so much for this session, and thank you for being such a lovely audience. I'll take your leave now.
Thank you so much, Miss Yashika. It was lovely to see you guys here. And I know it takes so much hard paying to organize such sessions. And I must acknowledge the fact that this profession of yours, we can't call it as profession. It's a service to humanity. It's a service to nation, especially people like you who are doing these sessions, irrespective of monetization. It clearly shows how humanitarian you are. And let's move forward with the ending. So these are my ending quotes. As it's rightly said by Paulo Coelho, that it's always important to know when something has reached its end. Closing circles, shutting doors, finishing chapters. It doesn't matter what we call it. What matters is to leave in the past those moments in life that are over. With this quote, we have reached the end of a very informative event and mindful webinar. Now I request our North Campus Vibhag President, Mr. Ayush Thakur, to address the August gathering. Over to you, Mr.
Uh,
Ayush.
am I audible, Yugal? Thanks a lot, Yugal, and
Absolutely.
thanks so much, MannRaahi team and Yashika ma'am and Dr. Aakansha Bhatt ma'am. Bhatia ma'am, maybe ma'am has left the meeting. I would like to say that once a great man whispered, feeling thankfulness and not expressing it is like a wrapping a present and not giving it. Today, I, Ayush Thakur, I take the opportunity to put all my gratitude into words. On behalf of entire Devbhoomi family and all the students, I would like to thank our guest speakers, Dr. Aakansha Bhatia and Miss Yashika Hooda, and all the team of MannRaahi, Artisha, Mahi, and Sanjeevni. For taking their precious time and consenting to be the guest speakers in this webinar. I thank our respected founders, Miss Aditi Pantri, Miss Ruchi Rawat, and Mr. Aman Dobhal, who graced us with their presence and guidance. I thanks all the audience for their presence in this evening. You always help us to carrying out such important events. Last but not the least, I thank the entire team of Devbhoomi family, the entire core, Artisha, Manish, Parisha, Akanksha, Yugal, Lakshit, and our social media head, Anushka Negi, and also the whole technical stuff handled in with this meeting by Gaurav. Because of that, we would not be able to organize this event in this online mode, because in the technical times we also need a technical person who handle all the glitches. Thanks a lot, Gaurav. And I once again thanks everyone for making this program successful. Have a great evening. And we also hope, ma'am, we are also looking for more this mindful session in offline mode too. So thanks a lot, Yashika, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayush. It was we were glad to hear your words. And at last, as we are at the closing time, I truly believe that best endings resonate because they echo a word, phrase, or image from earlier in the story, and the reader is prompted to think back to that reference and speculate on a deeper meaning. With these lines, I would like to express my gratitude to our guest speakers, Dr. Akansha Bhatia and Miss Yashika Huda, for lending us their auspicious time and making us enlightened about human well-being. Thank you so much, ma'am. The entire Devbhoomi family wishes you great endeavors ahead. Also, I take this a tremendous opportunity to thank our founders, Miss Aditi Pantri, Miss Ruchi Rawat, and Mr. Aman Dobhal for their guidance and endless support to us. And at last, but not the least, a grand applause for our wonderful audience out there who made this event grand and spectacular. Thanks a lot, everyone, and have a great evening. Now, I request everyone to open their camera to have a picture. Thank you so much. Kindly please open your cameras. Everyone to open their camera. It will be great to see you guys. I guess, Gaurav, we are done with the screenshot. Please kindly do that. Everyone for joining. Thanks a lot. Now you may leave the meeting. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Yugal, we are also sharing the feedback form na, for
Absolutely.
them. Yes.
Absolutely.
So
There
we can
is a,
also put that in chat box too, na?
absolutely. The feedback form is available in the comment and also on the YouTube. Kindly please fill it and you will be provided an e-certificate. Thank you so much, everyone.
Please note that those who are filling this form will get the certificates by mail. So please fill that form. It is very important.
Thanks a lot for being a
Thank you
great.
so much, Ashisha. Thank you so much. It was lovely having you guys.
Thank
And
you,
uh,
Ayush.
and I must congratulate Miss. I guess it was Miss Ankita and
So
Mr.
please fill that
Shivansh
form. It is
were
very
so
important.
brave to ask such questions, and especially Miss Parasha. Thank you so much for your question. We were
Thanks a
delighted to have
lot
such a lovely
for being
audience.
a great.
Mr. Ayush, some more comments on that from your side?
And
Just I would like to
And I must
it's very
congratulate
short ड्यूरेशन, बहुत कम समय में मतलब मनीष आर्चिशा ने मतलब ये
and
ऑर्गेनाइज करवाया एंड बहुत अच्छा हुआ.
Mr.
मतलब मैं तो
Yugal.
ये भी चाह रहा
It
हूँ कि
was so
आर्चिशा इज
great
एसोसिएटेड विद मनराही, सो
asking such
हम कुछ
questions, and
कभी मतलब
especially
आने
to
वाले टाइम पे
Parsha.
कुछ
Thank you so
ऑफलाइन
much
भी
for the
ऐसे
questions.
वेबिनार्स रखें,
We were
क्योंकि
delighted to
ऑफलाइन
discuss
थिंग
it
वुड
with
बी
the
मोर
audience.
इंटरेस्टिंग,
Mr.
क्योंकि अब
Ayush,
ऑनलाइन से
some
सब
more
पक चुके हैं.
comments on that
एंड
from your side.
बाकी तो सबने बहुत काम करा, पूरी होल देवभूमि फैमिली, एंड ऑल्सो जिन बंदों ने ज्वाइन करा फ्रॉम डिफरेंट कॉलेजेस, बट स्टिल वी वर एक्सपेक्टिंग मोर पार्टिसिपेशन सबके एंड से, बट जो भी हुआ बहुत अच्छा हुआ. It was really very nice and informative.
एग्जैक्टली काफी अच्छा लगा, मतलब सोचा नहीं था. माही saying thank you.
So, guys, the form would be open till 7. Kindly fill it, and after that, it will be closed. Thank you so much. So, I guess you may all take your leave. Thank you.